Hey, boys and girls, Mr. Anderson again, here to help you. The goal of this video is to show you what you need to do for your history of computing research project, and not only just what to do, but how to do it. So I'm going to go through step by step, very carefully, very slowly, exactly what you need to do, where to find all the resources, and how to start completing your project. So let's get going. Okay, you can see first of all that I'm in the Google Classroom. This is period one, but all my classes look the same. So if you're on the classwork tab at the top, it's what I recommend because then all the work is organized by topic. Then you can see that there is a project called, not that one, this one. It says Project Computing History Slide Presentation. So if you click that open, you're going to see that the steps, step one, step two, step three, step four, are all outlined for you. I'm going to go through those right now together with you. Let me click this so it's a little bigger, okay? So step one, it says, visit the Computing History Museum and select a topic of interest to you. So the first step is to decide on what you want to make a presentation about, okay? Pick something that sounds interesting because that's going to lead you to make a great presentation because you're going to want to explore the different resources. You're going to want to find out about it. Okay. It says you may choose any topic. And what I'm talking about, look at the bottom of my screen. There is a link to the online exhibit at the Computer History Museum. Click it and open it. You go to this website here. Okay. This is the online exhibition at the Computer History Museum. It's loaded with topics, calculators, punch cards, analog computers. You can pick any of these for your topic, or you can pick any of these subtopics that I'm hovering over right now. Each of these little bubbles is a subtopic within the topic that is above. So, for example, the birth of the computer. We're talking about electronic computers, the first programmable computers that came about in the 1940s. It's fascinating stuff. You could pick that general topic, the birth of the electronic computer, or you could start exploring any of these bubbles, okay, like I was explaining in class. Let's say this thing intrigued you, the ENIAC. It was the very first programmable electronic computer. Big deal back then in the 1940s, okay? Look how big it was. It was huge. It weighed tons and it barely could do anything. But still, for that day, it was massive. It was so cool. So you could pick, for example, this computer, this ENIAC computer, and make it the topic of your presentation if it sounded interesting to you, okay? So how will you know if it's interesting to you? Because you won't know what the word ENIAC means, right? You have to read. You have to go online to the museum and start reading a little bit about it. That's the only way you're going to know, okay? So you got to read just a little bit. It'll give you an idea what it's about, and then you can go, you know what? Nah, I'm not so interested in that. So what do then? You go back to the online exhibition list of topics and you start exploring some more. Okay? Look at the main titles. Oh, real-time computing. What does that mean? Okay, then you read this little part, real-time computing. What does that mean? And then maybe you explore a couple of the subtopics and you go, yes, could be, or no, probably not. If that's the case, you keep exploring. So boys and girls, step one is to explore the online museum and pick something that's interesting to you. Step one, done. Step two, collect information and images about your topic from the museum. That's this website, that is the museum, okay? So you're gonna collect information and images. How do you do that? How do you collect an image? Well, if I go to this exhibit and I start looking and there's an image I think is pretty cool, I'm gonna right click, which is a 2-finger tap on your trackpad, okay? 2-finger tap at the same time on your trackpad. It brings up this menu and you're going to save the image as. You're gonna give it a name like research project. This is maybe longer than it needs to be. You know, research project 1. You could name it anything. I like to give my files numbers when I'm collecting them. That way, the next one I save would be Research Project 2, and the next one would be Research Project 3, and that way they all have the same name, very similar, and I can find them all together at one time. So then you click save, and then your image, this image will be in your Google Drive, and you can search for it by name. Nice, right? Okay, what about collecting information? Well, remember what we talked about. You cannot copy and paste entire sentences or paragraphs straight into your presentation. That's called plagiarism, and that's cheating. We're not going to do that. But what you could do is, let's say this text sounds really good, something you want to include in your presentation. So what you do, again, is you do the right click, the 2-finger tap on your trackpad, highlight the text, then the 2-finger tap brings up this menu, copy, or Control-C, copy. Then you go to your drive, you open up a new file. Hang on, my thing, I have a delayed reaction here, sorry about that. You click on new file, geez, new Google Doc. Open up a new Google Doc in your drive. Call it, first thing you do is give it a title up at the top, right where I'm hovering. Boy, my computer is going slow right now. Okay, I'll give it a title later, but then you do Control-V or right click and paste. Now, do not put this whole bit of text in your presentation. No. What you do is you just leave it there, and then when it's time to put the information in your presentation, you summarize this part in your own words and put it in your presentation. Got it? Okay. So that's the idea behind step 2. Again, you do not have to get all your information just from this online museum. You can go on the internet and search wherever you want. Okay? If I'm talking about real-time computing, I can just use that search term in Google and find all kinds of stuff about real-time computing, or keep clicking through these subtopics and reading. And there's Sage, another very groundbreaking computer in the early days. So you could search for that word, Sage, online. And you probably want to include the word computer if you're doing a search, right? Sage computer. You don't want information about the herb sage, right? You want information about the computer Sage. Okay, so step 2, done and done. Step 3, organize all of your information and images into a slide presentation using the attached template. Boys and girls, look down on the screen. At the bottom, there is a link called Computing History Research Project Template. You have to use this to create your presentation and ultimately turn that in. So click it and open it. There it is. Okay, let's go back to the instructions. It says, use slides 1 through 3 as an example and start on slide 4. When you're done, you may delete slides 1 through 3. So what I'm talking about is these first 3 slides, all these 3 slides are there for examples that you can study, and you can base your presentation, you can base the design of your slides on these, okay? Look what it says right here. This is an example of a title slide. You do need a title slide in your presentation, so you could do it like this. You don't have to, and I'd prefer that you didn't. I prefer you come up with your own style, your own fonts, your own colors, your own style of laying this out, however it looks cool to you, okay? Now, on slide 2, look what it says at the bottom. It says, this is an example of a content slide. Remember, it's just an example. You can do it like this if you want, but you don't have to. And really, I don't want you to. I want you to do it in your own style, okay? Look what it says. It has a summarizing title and information in the body. So it has a title, okay? Computing History Research Project Overview. So if you were doing your topic about the Sage computer, your title first might be right here, the Sage computer. And your subtitle might be why it's so important in history. Done. Then you go on, content slide. At the top, you might say, title might be, how was the Sage computer developed? And then this slide would be information about how it first came into being, or how it was invented. Who were the people involved? What did they do? Why was the Sage computer so important? Boom, put that information on the slide, done. Go on to the next one, okay? You're gonna need 5 content slides, and I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, we're doing good. So that's step 3. Oh, and the last thing is, so you're gonna start on slide 4. Don't type over my slide 1. Leave it there, leave it alone. You're going to delete it at the very end, but just leave it alone for now, okay? Start on slide 4. Look, it's a title slide. You would add your title here and add your subtitle there, then go on to slide 5, where you can start adding your images and your information here, okay? All right, so look at all the blank slides that I leave you. That is enough for your project. You don't have to add any more. Definitely don't delete any, because you do need at least this many. You can add more, though, if you want. Okay, we're doing good. We're all the way through step 3. Now, step 4 is real easy. Turn in your slide presentation here in the classroom. That's why it's important for you to open the template. That's the link down at the bottom of this page so you can see. And to open this and start and finish your project here. And then when you're done, you're going to come back up to slides 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to delete them. So you're going to click on slide 1, delete. Click on slide 2, delete. Click on slide 3, delete. That's only when you are about to hit the turn in button in Google Classroom. You do this very last, which is delete my slides from your presentation. Okay, that's it. That is it. Okay. The very important note at the bottom of these steps says to avoid plagiarism. I've already talked about that. You do not want to copy and paste whole sections of text into your presentation. Boys and girls, I hope that helps you get started and shows you basically what to do, okay? Don't forget that I've created another video called Google Slides Basic Skills. Definitely watch that video for help. It'll show you how to add text, how to add images, how to resize them, how to change colors, how to change backgrounds, how to do all kinds of cool stuff to make your slides look cool. So if you don't have a lot of confidence with Google Slides, go into our classroom and watch the video. It says, watch this, Google Slides Basic Skills, okay? All right, now I'm gonna post another video about the rubric, which is more detailed, more detailed information about how to do this project, if you need it. But maybe you're good to go now, so go ahead and start, and let's see what you come up with. If you have any questions, just email me. You got this.